Hey everyone, the last item I want to touch here today under the protection function of the NIST cybersecurity framework that diminish the impact of any cyber event and also limited the attack surface for your organization is protective technologies. That is very important of that function, if you will. And remember, just a recap, I touched on a few of them previously, and those were access control, awareness and training, data security, information protection, processes and procedures, and also lastly was maintenance. That was my last video. So today, just to wrap up that series, would be protective technologies. So what it is and what it does for your organization. So some of the items that you should be consider right now as part of your internal policy and internal strategies. The first one and most obvious one perhaps is removable media. And there your traditional USB and removable hard drives, and you may make a distinction internally between USB drives and external hard drives. However, make sure that that category or categories are addressed in your policies and how you're going to restrict them and use and monitor the use of those. Perhaps you cannot do that in certain situations. In other situations, it's completely feasible to make that happen in your organization, but you have to document that in a policy for enforcement. Second, and perhaps the most prevalent is in small businesses, and perhaps even micro businesses, is to have your devices have a single function. And what I mean with that, it was very common years past to have a system, a server performing dual functions. And I'll give you perhaps an extreme example, having a server being your web server and your email at the same time, your email server, if you will, at the same time. Because the impacting one function will disable both functions. Let's say you have an attack on your website that denies service, and all of a sudden, not only you lose your web servers and your web presence, but also you lose the ability to communicate by email because your email server was on the same device. So once again, it's more prevalent or small and perhaps even micro businesses, this type of practice than in larger organizations or even mid-sized organizations. But nonetheless, very important to bring this awareness and topic up. Lastly, is to implement a mechanism to achieve business resilience, and that is either through hardware or architecture. And to practice and architecture and devices that you can use. For example, implementing load balancing, that is an architectural design where you distribute your workload across different systems. If one system perhaps goes down, you continue providing service on another system because that is distributed across. And that going down could be because of an attack or just because a hardware failure and brought the system down. Very useful when you upgrading a system, patching a system. You just basically, you address the bug or the functionality in one system, bring it up, it still work, and bring the other down. And this way you maintain resilience, you maintain providing the service to your customer. And last, very common also is hot swap of equipment. And that is that you can switch hard drives, add memory, remove memory, or even power supplies on your systems that perhaps fail, but you can replace it without bringing the system down. Basically, it's still live and going, providing the functions. That could be alone. It also could be the use of that same functionality on a load balancing architecture. So these are just a few strategy and a few technologies that you can put in place to make your business more resilient.